Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Trent. This is Rams Talk. Thank you for joining me on the Rams 2021 schedule prediction episode. This is the third time I've recorded this because the audio didn't work the two other times. So I'm about an hour in. I'm going to say this for the third time, and I got a glass of water here. So thank you for joining. Thank you to all the subscribers who have just joined the community, for all the old subscribers who are always commenting and everything. You guys make my day. Thank you so much. Also, leave a comment below letting me know what you think the schedule is going to, or the Rams record is going to finish up as. I'm optimistic because the Rams are, a top 5 team in the NFL. I think they're scheduled. I think the odds makers have them at 10.5 wins this year because, that half game you win, come on. I guess if you're betting, you have to go 11 or 10, but I'm going to take the over, and I'll tell you how much over. So this is going to be the first of 2 of my schedule predictions. The second one's going to come right before the season starts when the big injury wave has crashed upon us, and we know who the starters are of Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, Garoppolo, Trey Lance, and all that jazz. Get a more accurate schedule prediction, but I don't think it'll change too much. Now, right now, rookie mini camps are happening, so that's some football action. I'm pretty excited about that. But then when it comes to the schedule, I have 2 nits to pick about it. The first one is I think the Rams got totally screwed with that Baltimore game. Like, hey, we're expanding the season to 17 games, and hey, guess what? In January, you get to go play Baltimore. Yeah, awesome. Thanks for that extra game. Baltimore, January 2nd, are you kidding me? I personally feel that the extra game should be something fun. And for the Rams, I think every year for that 17th game, they should play the Chargers. Battle for LA every year. Freeway series, not really freeway series, house series every year. And they should do that with all the teams in the NFL. Granted, not every city has 2 teams, but you can get an old rival from back when the divisions were different, like Seattle versus Kansas City, or Seattle versus Denver, something like that. San Francisco versus Las Vegas Raiders. So you can do Jets, Giants, any of that kind of thing. But I think that would be more fun, and you can build a new rivalry or rekindle an old one. That makes more sense than playing Baltimore on January 2nd. Stupid. Yeah, cool. No 4th preseason game, but at least we get Baltimore. Now, playing Baltimore is going to be fun. That's a cool matchup, but I just don't think that does the Rams any favors this year. The second one is San Francisco lucks out again, especially when it comes to playing us. Last year, they played us 1 week after they had a bye, and we were on the road, I think, against Washington, and we came back and had to play them. They had a bye, so this year, they have 2 home games before they play us. So the first time they play us, they have a home game beforehand. Then they play us in San Francisco. Then the final game of the year, we come back from Baltimore, and they travel down to SoFi after they just played Houston at home. So, come on. Seriously, San Francisco, the schedule makers really love the 49ers, and I hate the 49ers. So that pisses me off. So we have 2 Sunday night games, 2 Monday night games, 1 Thursday night game. When I look into my predictions, I look at who's the opposing quarterback. Is it in warm weather or cold weather? We actually luck out that way this year. We play Green Bay November 28th. Not too cold, crisp but not cold. And then January 2nd, cold, not crisp. So not too bad actually. I'll take that. The first 5 weeks are not too bad travel-wise. We have a back-to-back home games between, so we play Chicago. Well, anyways, I'll go through it. So the first 5 games, not too bad travel-wise. That's a good time. But the Crucible's the end of the year when we have 5 games, 3 of them, the last 5 games, 3 of them versus divisional teams. So Arizona, Seattle, San Francisco. 3 of them on the road, Arizona, Minnesota, Baltimore. So, and all of those teams are potential playoff teams. So that's going to be, like I said, a crucible. That's just going to be steel cage match, and not looking forward to the final 5 games, but kind of looking forward to the final 5 games. So here we go, week 1, at home, Sunday Night Football versus Chicago. Now, a lot of people are talking about Chicago, Justin Fields. Oh, yay, Justin Fields, he's there. But, come on, Justin Fields is not going to start week 1 unless the Red Rifle is Real, the beige water pistol, as Colin Cowherd says. So I expect Andy Dalton to start that game. In any case, Matthew Stafford is better than those guys. Our offense is better than Chicago's. Our defense is better than Chicago's. And to me, the storyline is this is Matthew Stafford's first game as a Ram, first game at home, at SoFi, with people in it, and the new look offense. And I really feel like this is going to be everything for the Rams. The new SoFi Stadium, Matthew Stafford, looking at this high-powered offense, with Deshaun Jackson, Tutu Atwell, and Cam Akers, and Kupp, and Woods, and Van. And I mean, it's going to be pretty awesome. So the Rams, like I said, better on every phase. Maybe not special teams yet, who knows? But they've been win this game, move to 1-0. Then they go week 2 to Indy. Indy. So the best thing about Indy is Indiana Jones. Sorry, that was terrible. That was really terrible. But Carson Wentz sucks. I think we can all agree on that. We don't have to hear Carson Wentz versus Jared Goff anymore. That is done. Carson Wentz, I think, will resurrect his career a little bit, but I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback anymore. I think those days are gone. Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback than Wentz, so there it is. I think we win that battle. Our offense is better. Our defense is better, even though they have a pretty good defense, and their offense isn't bad. They're a good team. I mean, I have nothing against the Colts. So, but the Rams win this game. Like I said, they're it's still early in the year. Traveling to Indy is not a big deal. So, one of the storylines I really like is AD versus Quentin Nelson, if that actually happens, if they line up. But that'll be fun to watch. So, moving on, Rams are 2-0. Going in to week 3 at home against Tampa Bay. Now, this is Tom Brady's first game in his entire NFL career, all 50 years that he's played in LA. So, congratulations, Tom Brady. I still hate you. I wonder if he'll shake Matthew Stafford's hand if the Rams win. But I have this as a loss for the Rams because you're going to hear me say this a couple times. I mean, I feel like the Rams could beat any team on the schedule, but the Rams will lose games this year. So Tampa Bay is a top 3, top 4 team in the NFL. When they played last year, they were still kind of finding their way, and the Rams beat them. So I think they're a much more polished team. Who knows if there's a Super Bowl hangover, though. Anyways, the Rams lose this game, fall to 2-1 on the season. Going into week 4 against Arizona, we own Arizona. Cliff Kingsbury might be fired this year. So until Arizona beats us, we're gonna win. We're gonna beat them. So Rams 4-1. Sorry, 3-1 after this game. I mean, how many games will Cliff Kingsbury last? Now, I think if anything, bringing in J.J. Watt is great from a leadership role. I feel like Arizona really lacked that last year. You just see Kyler Murray over in the corner crying and pouting. Things not going his way, not feeling good. But, I mean, they're a Hail Mary away from really having a complete and utter collapse last year. So then we have Jalen Ramsey versus Nuke Hopkins. AJ Green, I mean, come on. When's the last time AJ Green did anything? So Rams win this game. They are 3-1 on the season. Going into Thursday Night Football, Week 5 versus the Seattle Seahawks. Jamal Adams, revenge. Jamal Adams is kind of like the new rival, like the villain for the Rams. And I feel it. And, I love what Goff felt and after the game when he said, we saw them celebrating and talking about Cabo and stuff, and now they can enjoy Cabo. So their secondary is pretty terrible. And that's another thing I'm looking at, not just QBs, but secondaries, because I look at the Rams passing attack. And last year, when I looked at the Rams going against teams and those teams having poor secondaries, I thought, oh, that's a ripe area for the Rams to take advantage of. But they really didn't because of Jared Goff. And so now with Matthew Stafford, I look at team secondaries. I'm like, hey, listen, Seattle secondary, you better be on point against Matthew Stafford in this Rams offense. So, their defensive line has improved. But anyways, I have Seattle winning this game. Rams are gonna split with Seattle and San Francisco this year, just playing it safe like that. So this is in Seattle. People will be there. There'll be kind of a 12th man situation going on, depending on how much attendance will be allowed. So after 5 games, Rams are 3-2. But don't worry, guys. It gets better. We're going to go on a binge right here, a winning binge against the Giants. Week 6 in New York. This could be a trap game, but I don't feel it necessarily, only because they're coming off a loss. And if you're coming off a loss, you know, you're not riding high and not seeing the trap ahead of you. So I think the Rams are going to be pissed off. They're going to have a couple days rest, even though they're traveling to New York. They just played a Thursday night, so they have about 3 days extra rest for this. Listen, even though New York will have an improved offense with Kenny Golladay and Saquon Barkley and another year of development with Daniel Jones, Matthew Stafford's better than Daniel Jones. The Rams offense is better than the Giants offense will be. Their defense will be better than the Giants defense. So the Rams are better in all phases. They'll win this game, and they will improve to, what are we at? 4-2. The Rams will be 4-2 coming back home, week 7 against the Detroit Lions, the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford revenge game. So Goff will be, you know, Goff is feeling this. Goff is like, man, I can't believe I got dealt. Stafford's like, oh gosh, I got dealt, thank God. So this will be interesting. Michael Brockers as well. It'll be kind of weird seeing Aaron Donald go in there and sack Jared Goff. So this is just going to be a very interesting and fun game for me. I like what Brad Holmes is doing with the team and the roster building, but they're still a ways away. And so the Rams win this game. I really don't see an issue with that. They improve to 5-2 heading into week 8 against Houston at Houston. I don't care what anyone says. The Rams are going to go in there and they're going to mess with Texas. They're going to mess with Texas unless they play down to the Texans' calibers. So this is really the trap game, week 8. You know, kind of like how the Jets game was last week, or maybe in the Jacksonville game this year is going to be the Jets game from last year. But anyways, I expect Deshaun Watson to be playing, like I said. If he's not, then, I mean, this is just even more gravy. But anyways, Rams win this game. They improve to 6-2 on the season, heading into week 9, coming back home versus Tennessee. The Titans, Sunday Night Football game, November 9th. Now, Tennessee's a good team, playoff team, really good offense last year, especially around the running game. Tannehill's a solid quarterback. Matthew Stafford, I feel, is a better quarterback. The Rams are a more dynamic offense. Tennessee's defense, not really enamored with that. Their secondary, not really enamored with that. Janoris Jenkins, who's a very solid cornerback, but Elijah Molden, Caleb Farley, 2 rookies. How will they fare against the passing attack of the Rams? So I have the Rams winning this game and improving to 7-2. 7-2 feels great. Everyone's riding high on the horse, except until week 10. High on the hog, actually. That's what I meant, high on the hog. Week 10 at San Francisco, Monday Night Football. So I have this as a loss. Pains me saying that. Pains me predicting the Rams are going to lose the 49ers, but being realistic, they're going to be a good team. Rams win one, they win one. Now, here are the things. Here's how I feel the Rams would beat San Francisco. Number 1, last year when the Rams played San Francisco, Jared Goff pretty much was the reason we lost those games. We don't have Jared Goff anymore. He turned the ball over a couple times, 4 times. Terrible interceptions, threw a pick 6 to Javon Kinlaw. I mean, he couldn't have been any worse. San Francisco has no secondary. Jason Verrett might not make it to week 10. This is also going to be the Rams. They won't have a bye yet, so they're going to be pretty lethargic. I think they're going to have some tired legs. Who's San Francisco quarterback going to be? Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance. Who knows if Garoppolo's still healthy? Who knows if they made a change? Trey Lance is in there. Do you really think Trey Lance is going to be can beat the Rams at the point? I don't think so. But anyways, this is in San Francisco. Rams lose this game. There, I said it. Okay, so now they head into their bye, week 11. All right, so they're getting rested up, hanging out at the beach, just going to Burke Williams, getting a lot of massages, just getting some downtime, sleeping in, going into week 12, Green Bay. I have this as a loss. So anyways, I didn't tell you what the win total is, or the win-loss totals are, but this is week 12. The Rams will be 7-4, right? Okay, 7-4 after they lose to Green Bay. Now they could beat Green Bay. But last year, when we played Green Bay in the playoffs, AD was not 100% and barely played, right? That was a huge difference. We didn't have a pass rush against Green Bay. Also, Green Bay's offensive line was just stonewalling us. but their all-pro center is no longer with the team, is with the Chargers. So AD back healthy, no all-pro center, interior line. So that can be something. Also, this is November 28th. Like I said, it's crisp, not cold, so this won't affect the Rams too much. Matthew Stafford has a lot of experience playing against Green Bay, but Green Bay still, I'm assuming Aaron Rodgers is in this game, so, they're still kind of the champs, so, runs through them. Stafford versus Rodgers and similar offenses will be a really cool storyline. The LaFleur and McVay offense with two really good arm talents in Rodgers and Stafford. But anyways, Green Bay wins this game. The Rams fall to 7-4, come back home, play Jacksonville. I don't think this will be a trap game because they just came off of a loss, so they're going to be fired up. Trevor Lawrence is in there, great hair, but just not going to, Jacksonville's not going to really have it this year. So, really not going to say much about that. Rams are now 8-4 going into Week 14 at Arizona on Monday Night Football. And the big question is, has Arizona gone Chernobyl in the desert yet? Have they melted down with Cliff Kingsbury yet? It's entirely possible, right? So I can see that happening. Rams win this game. They improve to 9-4, heading into a home game, Week 15 against Seattle. This is the split. So they lost the first one. They win the second game. They're playing at home. And last year when the Rams played Seattle the first time, Seattle had a lot of injuries, but they won't this year at the beginning of the year. But, anyways, that was the first game. Second game, Rams win. They improve to 10-4, right? Then they go Week 16 on the road at Minnesota. Now, when I think about the Vikings, I think about, underachieving. I think about them underachieving. You always look at the Vikings like, they should be more. You feel like their defense should be better than it is, but it isn't. Kirk Cousins always is leading the NFL or up the top of the leaderboard for passing, but it doesn't really feel like that. Like they just don't win the big games that they should. So, and Stafford knows them well. And that, like I said, that accounts for something. The Rams win this game. They move to 11-4. Then they go and play Baltimore in Baltimore, January 2nd in the BS game. That's what I call the BS game. A lot of people think this is a payback game for when they gouged us a couple of years ago in 2019. This isn't a payback game because a lot of players on our defense weren't there 2 years ago. That was an Eric Weddle, Clay Matthews, Marcus Peters show, so that's not happening now. But anyways, it's a cold game against a good team. I don't know if the Rams will stay in the Midwest or East Coast between these games. I don't know if they're allowed to this year. I'm not sure if the reason why last year wasn't really, and they're kind of back and forth was because of COVID. But if they can stay on the East Coast between these games, I say go for it instead of going to Minnesota, flying back, going to Baltimore. That's too tough. Just stay out there, acclimate, have fun, eat a crab cake. Come back Week 18, so they lose that game. They are going to be 11-5. Come back, final game of the year, Week 18 at SoFi against San Francisco. They take that game, they win the division, and SoFi better be rocking, better be representing. I wish I could be there. Anyways, Rams finish the season 12-5. McVay gets revenge against Shanahan. Rams win the NFC West. They're a top 2, top 3 team in the NFC. Yeah, top 2 probably. And yeah, that's how I see it this year, 12-5. How do you see it? Where do you see the Rams at the end of 17 games? Please let me know in the comments. Give this video a like. Follow me on my other socials. Yeah, it is always good talking to you guys. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy. And as always, go Rams. Let's see if I can get this back in. Nope. Full on drop. One more. Boom. Hope the audio worked.